welcome to the Blue Corner. My name is Dennis, and I finally have my remaining July pickups. So, time for video. As always, let's start off with the Blu-rays. So, again, nice little stack of Blu-rays, and continuing trying to get as many of the Caskets movies that's out on Blu-ray. I picked up a few more from Germany. So, yeah, first I picked up Showdown in Manila. One I've actually been meaning to wanna see. This was a first time watch, and this was a bigger letdown than I ever expected it to be, actually. Once again, Mark Dacascos is listed on the cover, but he's barely in it. And to my surprise, he actually directed this movie. I do believe the one and only movie he ever directed so far. So, double it down, I guess. Not a very good movie. There was a few surprises or surprise cameos in the movie I didn't know about. Ross Rock was in it. Don the Dragon Wilson was in it. And there's one more. Oliver Gruner. Yeah, Oliver. I forgot about Oliver. Not listed on the front cover here, and I hadn't checked out IMDb or whatnot. So, yeah. Bad movie with a nice cameo surprises. Yeah. More the Caskets. I am Omega. This is a sci-fi channel ripoff of Omega Man, I Am Legend. It's the same story, just with a much smaller budget, and Mark Dacascos in the role. So, yeah, nowhere near as good as Omega Man or I Am Legend, but it's nowhere near the worst Mark Dacascos low budget movie I've seen from the last 10-15 years or so. So, yeah, do with that whatever you want. So, next up, from Scorpion, I had hoped we would be getting 3, 4, and 5 in 4K too, but Kino recently announced 4 and 5 on Blu-ray, so I'm assuming that only 1 and 2 will be on 4K. So I found out Scorpion had the rights to Death Wish 3, so I picked that one up, and already have 4 and 5 pre-ordered for when they come out. So, more Bronson for the collection. Great. Low budget. 80s, 90s action. 85. So, yeah, 80s action. I love the Death Wish movies. They're fun action movies. And this was one I have seen them all before. I just don't have many memories of 3, 4, and 5. Well, until recently, with this one at least. As far as I do remember, I'll still say my favorite is the second one. So, yeah. We'll see when I get 4 and 5 in. Next, from Cineasia, I picked up Right On. Gotta keep up both the Cineasia collection and the Jackie Chan collection, so I guess this is a twofer. And this is actually one of the better Jackie Chan movies I have seen in quite some time. I haven't been a fan of many of his recent movies, but I guess that's what you get with your favorite actors getting older. They can't keep up the same quality, and that's also the case with Jackie Chan. Although, I highly enjoyed this one, so if you like old school Jackie Chan and you haven't seen this one, at least check out the trailer. I say give this one a watch. From Eureka, I picked up Rich and Famous, and Tragic Hero. To my knowledge, I hadn't seen these movies before, and now that I have, I still don't remember having seen them before. So this was a nice little first time viewing. It's it's the first movie and its sequel, of course. I I liked both movies, but I do think they would have been just a tad bit better if they had been shorter and just one movie. There was times in both movies where they dragged a little bit and then all out action towards the end, especially in the sequel. So yeah, I did like the first one just a tad bit more than the second one, even though that it is the same story. So yeah, I'll always pick up anything with the actors in that one. So let's see, next we have Untold Story, another first time view. It category 3, and yeah, category 3, nasty. Even though this one isn't nearly as nasty as I thought it would be, there's still some really disturbing things going on in this movie. And I don't know if you can read. At least you can see the images. So yeah, just look at the front cover and maybe you'll get a little idea of what this is about. Let's just say you wouldn't want to eat what those people are. But it's a nice edition, and finally, we're starting to see the 88 releases after they've been pushed again, 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 and again. But it's a completely different story. Also from 88, Magic Cup or Mr. Vampire 5. I had seen this one before many years ago, so I I wasn't let down by the movie, but I think my memory had it being better than I thought it was when I rewatched this one. I don't know. I really enjoyed the Mr. Vampire movies, rewatching them as they came out over the last year or so from the various companies. Yeah, various companies being Hong Kong Blu-rays, which I have, and then later the Eureka sets. I quite enjoyed those movies, and I don't know if I enjoyed those more over this. I did. Yeah, I don't know. I still a good movie, just not as good as I remembered it to be. Yeah, Magic Cup. It's in the collection, and it's staying in the collection. It's a, it's a 88 release, and it's known as Mr. Vampire 5. And since it's not the same company, I can't really put it next to the other Mr. Vampire's collection OCD. Yeah. So also, no, not from 88. From Kino Lorber, I picked up The White Buffalo, a re-release, remastered, the brand new HD master from a 2K scan. Yeah, they did release this one before, and last I checked, that was out of print, and I couldn't really find a copy of it. So I'm glad they went back, redid it, not just re-released the disc, but remastered it. So now it's in the collection. So I had heard about this one from quite a few people over the years, and I don't believe I've ever seen it before I got this one. Always heard it was a good little Bronson movie. It's Jaws. It's kind of like Jaws, just with the buffalo. And yeah, I kind of enjoyed this one. But I again, after this came out, I started reading reviews after I had seen the movie, of course. And I guess a lot of people don't really like it, but I don't know. I had a good time with it. I'll I'll always pick up anything Bronson that I don't already have. So I was happy that this came out. Now, if only Kino would repress, remaster some of the other Bronson movies. There's still a bunch of Bronson movies that I'm missing they put out, and some of them, to my knowledge, are out of print. So yeah, keep it going, Kino. I'll pick up anything Bronson. So yeah, White Buffalo. And for once, they actually, let's see, did I flip? Yeah, I flipped the cover. For once, they actually did alternate artwork. They don't do that often. So uh, yeah, nice getting the slipcover in cases like that. Speaking of, let's just take the next three titles. The Diabolic DVD has been having a restaurant sale for some, I don't know how long. I didn't see it from the get go. And they put up pictures where they had slipcovers for all the restaurant titles they showed off in the picture. And they had a bunch of titles that I was missing. I picked up three. There was still more that I was missing. But even though that I'm buying a bunch of restaurant titles, older restaurant titles, and picking up pretty much all the new ones, I'm not gonna say I collect the restaurant line. There's some of the earlier ones that I don't have. I don't feel like I need. I Even though that the spine are numbered, I don't mind. I don't have the complete collection of restaurant titles. Let's just go with that. And yet here I am buying a bunch of them, like I said. But I picked up three that I didn't have. So first, I picked up the Warlock Trilogy collection. I, Warlock collection is the more than I don't believe there's more than three Warlock movies. I I know I've seen at least the first one. I have no idea if I've seen two or three before, and I haven't had the time to dive into this set yet. There was a few other titles that I wanted to watch more in this update, and I just returned to work after my summer vacation. So yeah, work. gotta gotta get my money for my habit here. So Warlock, I do plan on diving into this set relatively soon. So yeah. Next one that I did watch when I got it, and for sure this is a first time view. I picked up Dagon. Never seen this before I got it, and boy, this is a weird one. So weird that I don't have a complete idea if do I like this one or do I not like this one. Uh, for whatever reason I kept thinking of Resident Evil throughout this movie. I'm not gonna say this is a good movie. I found myself being a tad bit bored here and there throughout this movie. But take out the fish people, spoiler, the fish people in this movie, and insert the Las Plagas from the Resident Evil franchise, and you have a Resident Evil movie. At least that's what I think. So I don't know if that is why I'm saying I can't really make up my mind. But for now, this is not a movie that I'm gonna rush back to anytime soon. Yeah, but it's in the collection. And then finally, of the restaurant titles, the one title that I actually really wanted, and I have no idea why I never got around to picking this one up when it came out. Class of 1999, and guess what? No slipcover. I guess I wasn't fast enough with my order. But they did have them with slipcovers when I saw the picture when I made the order. I guess people just beat me to it, and or they didn't have that many slipcovers. And yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But I was really looking forward to rewatching this movie. I like this class of franchise. I like class of 1984. I have that from 101 Films. I like this one. I thought this was a fun time, and I am really hoping that hell, I don't even know if it's Vestron or not that put it out, but I do really want to see Class of 1999 Part 2 out on HD format too. So hopefully we can get that eventually. But for now, Class of 1999 is in the collection. Yeah, no slipcover. No, I've said it before. I I really don't care that much about slipcovers when there's no alternate artwork or nothing like that. But when it's in a line where I have slipcovers for pretty much all the other editions, this this is just gonna stand out in that collection. I would have liked the slipcover for this. Plus, my showcase video series for Vestron will have a handful of new videos eventually when I get around to recording those. And because I don't have the slipcover for this, it's not the complete release. So I don't want to make a video for that one. Yeah. Excuses, excuses, excuses. And then in the same order, I picked up Creepshow III from Scream Factory. Now, this is a Scream Factory site exclusive, but I guess that doesn't matter to Diabolic DVD since they had it. So since Scream Factory still don't want to ship out of the country, and I mean, I did know Diabolic DVD isn't IOSS registered, so I knew that anything I ordered would get caught in customs. I was just okay. Well, I want this one way or the another, and I was already picking up the restaurants, so I added this to the cart, and thankfully, it it did get caught in customs. Thankfully, I didn't have to pay all that much. I haven't checked what Diabolic wrote on the package, but I'm not quite sure it's the full amount that I bought or paid for in the order. So thank thank you, Diabolic, I guess. But back to Creepshow. Bad movie. I know it, I'm totally aware it's a bad movie. It's not good. There's a few stories in it that I quite like, but overall, it's not a good movie compared to 1 and 2. But I got 1 and 2, so I guess I gotta have 3 too. Complete the collection, I guess. So yeah, and no alternate artwork on that one. It's in the collection. So let's continue with the 4K titles. So last update, I picked up I bought a few movies from a 3 for 2 sale CD-ON had going, and since then they switched out a few titles and added some. So yeah, I went back. I only bought 3 though. So they added Superman 1 and 2 to the sale, and I'm actually surprised they added 1 and 2. I would have figured they would have added 3 and 4 since I'm assuming they don't sell nearly as well as 1 and 2. So yeah, I wanted Superman 1 and 2, and then they also added Training Day which I didn't even know that had a 4K here in Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, the Nordic countries. So of course I had to pick that one up. Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke, great movie. And it's been quite a time since I watched it. So that had to be in the collection. But going back to Superman 1 and 2, of course, I picked up Superman 1, and they had two different versions of Superman. They did put out Superman on 4K years back, but they re-released it as part of releasing all four of them with new masters, and this one also has Dolby Vision. And I'm pretty sure that's the difference on the two editions. This has Dolby Vision, the other one doesn't. So had to make sure I got the correct one. So I picked up Superman. And then when looking on Superman 2, I noticed that one wasn't quite what other countries got. So yeah, I didn't go with Superman 2 for the sale. So of course I had to pick up a third one, and that ended up being The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, John Wayne movie. I was so sure I had seen this one before, but putting it on, watching it, I remembered nothing about it. And overall, it's a good movie. I like the movie. But as a Western, I was a little bit let down. Heck, being a John Wayne movie. John Wayne isn't even really the lead in the movie. I like Westerns, and this just didn't live up to my Western standards. But it's still a good movie. I did like the movie. I was just missing more gunfights and all the bar fights, whatnot, stuff like that. Old school westerns. So yeah, it's I'm keeping it in the collection, but yeah, I guess I was just missing a little more western. So going back to Superman to finish the story, really, I didn't pick up Superman 2 from the CD on sale. I went to the UK to pick up Superman 2. And why I did this one, or did it like this, is because this movie has both cuts of the movie. The Danish 4K edition only have the Donner cut. Why not both? UK gets the full set. I'm pretty sure US got the full set too. Why do we only get one cut? And it's not like there's 4 discs. So I can see it's easy for them to just include the Donner cut discs. But why does... I'm pretty sure there's Danish subtitles on all the discs. So why leave out 2 discs? I don't know. So yeah, I went to the UK. Sadly, thin, thick case. Damn you, UK. But okay, in this case, I get it. There's 4 discs, so they take up more space. Yeah, I guess I can live with it in that particular case. But when I get 3 and 4, I'm gonna have 1, 3, and 4 in thin cases, and 2 in a thick case. And yes, that's gonna bother me. But yeah, so let's just continue. Next on 4K, I picked up Heat from America. We do have a Danish edition that I was planning on picking up when it's eventually included in the halfway to Black Friday or Black Friday sale. I'm assuming it's gonna be in one of those sales eventually. But this edition went down to $4 on Amazon, and even though that I had to pay import taxes and shipping, I had it's the same go around. I bought Death Wish 3, so even with that, $4 I just couldn't beat. Heck, I sold the digital code for $3, so $1 for the movie plus tax and shipping, and still way cheaper than it would have been in any sale. And yes, I know that the 4K edition doesn't have the best reputation, but I didn't even have the Blu-ray. So, and that's still one that people seem to like. So, I haven't seen the 4K cut of the movie yet. I guess time will tell. Hopefully, well, it's gonna be worth the small amount of money that I paid for it, no matter what. So, yeah, I decided to get it. Next, which, well, technically, there's a box set in this update, but I would almost say that Sisu would be my pick of the month. I freaking love this movie. This is what I'm all about. Old school, over the top action. This was just a fun time. So, of course, that had to be in the collection. And we didn't get, or we don't get, the 4K here in Denmark. So, import it is. And one of the few times I'll gladly pick up a brand new release at full price. So, if you don't know Sisu or haven't heard anything about it, definitely check out at least the trailer and then go get the movie if you like action movies. Take a movie like Rambo 4, and it's in the same vein as Rambo 4. It's that kind of over the top action. Mix put in a take Rambo 4, put in a bunch of Nazis, and that's pretty much Sisu. It's over the top, gory, and right down my alley. So, well worth the watch. And I talked about the next one in my last update. I pre-ordered 1 and 2 together. 1 got pushed back about 14 days, 2 weeks. I don't know why, but I finally got the first Avatar 2. And in my last update, I was talking about I wanted to watch both back to back in my vacation. I didn't get around to that. This one showed up at the end of my vacation time, so yeah, I didn't want to spend the last few days on Avatar. So hopefully one day I'll get around to it. Just hasn't happened yet. But of course, I have seen it before, so it's not like it's a first time watch. I like the movie, but I don't love them. So, yeah, I'm not in a rush. Let's just put it like that. Next, from MVD Marquee Collection, I do believe this was the first 4K edition they put out. Rain Man, more Tom Cruise. I've said it before. I guess I'm low key collecting Tom Cruise 4K editions. Of course, I had to pick this one up. Classic Tom Cruise, one of the best of his earlier works. So, it's one I haven't seen in so many years, and it kind of makes me want to go back to some of his earlier movies, like Far and Away, Cocktail, those kind of movies. For whatever reason, this one got me to really think about wanting to see Far and Away again. That I remember watching that so many times on vacations way back, and quite loving that movie. So I don't know. It's two different movies with two different topics. I don't know why this one got me thinking of Far and Away, but great movie. And now we do even have The Firm and Vanilla Sky out on 4K too. The Firm is another one that I really want to watch again. And sadly, we didn't get any of them here in Denmark. So I guess I'm gonna have to import those too. Rain Man, good movie. Don't know why I thought about other Tom Cruise movies with that. So I picked up a little stack of Scream Factory 4K titles too. I picked up Piranha, fun movie. It again, not a great movie. I I have fun with these. The okay, let's put it. I have fun with the older Piranha movies. I absolutely hate the two remakes. I don't like them at all. But I'll gladly go back to the two earlier or the two old ones. I don't know what it is, why I like the two old ones and not the two new ones. But yeah, I I don't have any good reason why that is. But I especially have fun with the first one. This is the one I'll take if I had to just pick one. Again, it's not a great movie, but I have fun with it. Motel Hell. I have seen this one before, and yeah, I like it. Boy, do I come off as negative on a lot of these movies that I bought for this one, for this update. I bought this. I I bought three of them together. Piranha. For whatever reason I bought that alone. I guess I just wanted to get some of the earlier Scream Factory editions since nobody else seems to be putting them out. So I added Motel Hell. It's a good little horror movie. Not one that ever really stood out to me, I guess. I did have the Arrow edition way back when, which I apparently sold because I don't have it anymore. I just okay, well I'll toss this one in the basket too. So with with WoW HD having free shipping to Denmark, I'm a little more willing to just add a few more titles that I don't always need to be in a rush to get. But again, those damn slip covers. Any Scream Factory collector will tell you that they want them with the. I'm pretty sure. I would not surprise me that anybody that collects Scream Factory titles would rather have them with the slipcover than without. Hence why the editions without the slipcover from the get-go don't get bought out nearly as fast as the ones with. So yeah, Motel Hell, I don't feel like it's one I'm in a rush to really watch, but it's in the Scream Factory collection now. Thankfully, they don't have numbers. I don't need to get every single 4K they put out. But one that I did actually really want to update was The Burning. I still have the Arrow Blu-ray, and I love The Burning. So this 4K, I would have wished I really do have a love-hate relationship with Scream Factory. I don't put them nearly as high on any pedestal as many other people do. But with the titles they put out, I get why people really love them. I would have liked Arrow to have done a edition of The Burning in 4K. I just like the casing for those better. But I had to get The Burning on 4K. And since there is no sign of any other editions, I had to get this. And it is a good transfer, so I enjoyed getting. And for once, it has a slipcover, which Arrow Blu-ray didn't. And did it even? Nope, no alternate artwork, which is a story in of itself, I guess. And the final 4K I picked up was Kerry. Again, it has a slipcover. I thought, well, it's not a brand new release, and I just figured, okay, well, if I want the slipcover, I guess I need to pick it up sooner rather than later. So thankfully it came with one. And again, no alternate artwork. Yeah, like I said, I do have a love-hate relationship with Scream Factory, and this kind of stuff is why. But Kerry is a classic, which I do like, and heck, I even like the second one, which I do have. So I figured I want slipcover. I have the second one. I want the first one too. So yeah, it's in the collection. It's staying. And then, without a doubt, the one that has to be, it has to be the pickup of the month is, of course, Bruce Lee at Golden Harvest. I've said it before, I'm not a die-hard Bruce Lee fan. I've never been. I would rather have Jet Li, Donnie Yen, but I recognize the importance of Bruce Lee to the complete martial arts world, so this was a no-brainer. And to have them on 4K, have some of them extended cuts, new scenes, never before scenes, and all this jibber jabber. I'm not gonna dive into it all. There's plenty of videos online, but yeah, this was just a must-have set in the collection. So yeah, Bruce Lee at Golden Harvest. I of course picked up the red one, and guess what? Dent free. If you know, you know. So I wasn't gonna pay. I wasn't gonna pay extra for the yellow set that Arrow had on their own site, which came dented to most people anyway. But again, Arrow, much like Diabolic, isn't IOSS registered, so I would have had to pay extra taxes, getting caught in customs, all that just to get a dented, damaged box. For once, Amazon dent free. Who knew? So yeah, that's my July video. So with that, let's just end it here before the video gets way too long. With that, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace out.